Major political upset in Greenland, Demokraatit its stunning victory. Date, March 13, 2025. In a remarkable turn of events, the center-right Demokraatit Party has achieved a stunning victory in Greenland's recent parliamentary elections, dramatically increasing its support from 9% to 30% of the vote. This electoral upset has resulted in the displacement of the long-dominant anti-American left, particularly the party's Inuit Ataqatigiit and Siumut, which have held sway over Greenland's political landscape for years. The elections unfolded against a backdrop of heightened interest from U.S. President Donald Trump, who has made clear his ambitions regarding the strategically significant island. Election results and implications. The Demokraatit Party, led by Jens-Frederik Nielsen, not only emerged as the largest party but also signaled a significant ideological shift in Greenland's political discourse. Under the previous leadership, characterized by a strong anti-American sentiment and a slogan of "Greenland is not for sale," the focus was heavily on rejecting U.S. influence. In contrast, the new party leadership emphasizes pro-business reforms and pragmatic cooperation with international partners, particularly the United States. This shift is particularly notable given Trump's recent statements that highlighted Greenland's importance for U.S. national security, suggesting that the U.S. would pursue control of the island one way or another. Trump's interest has emerged amid Greenland's rich deposits of rare earth minerals and its strategic position in the North Atlantic, which are critical for various global technologies and military logistics. The independence debate. The election results also brought to the forefront an ongoing discussion regarding Greenland's independence from Denmark. 4 out of 5 major political parties are in favor of independence, albeit with varying timelines and strategies. The Demokraatit Party advocates a more measured approach, while the Nuanced Party, which garnered nearly 25% of the vote, adopts a more aggressive pro-independence stance. This robust debate over independence underscores a broader sentiment among Greenlanders. Though there is widespread support for self-determination, many citizens express reluctance towards becoming an extension of U.S. territory. Rather, they seek to establish their own identity and governance structure separate from both Denmark and the United States. Coalition formation and future governance. Following the elections, Nielsen faces the crucial task of forming a coalition government. His party's unexpected success has created a new political landscape, compelling him to engage in negotiations with other parties to establish a stable governing framework moving forward. The dynamics of these coalition talks will significantly influence Greenland's approach to both independence and its relationship with Denmark and the United States. In the wake of the election, Nielsen expressed his surprise and determination to collaborate with other parties. He emphasized the need to address pressing social issues such as healthcare and education, which resonated with voters and may have contributed to his party's electoral success. Voter sentiment and political climate. The electoral process itself saw significant public engagement, with large crowds forming at polling stations across the capital, Nuuk. The enthusiastic turnout reflects a vibrant democratic spirit, with voters eager to participate in shaping their governance amidst unprecedented global attention on Greenland's political future. Prime Minister Inuit Ataqatigiit, whose party faced a surprising decline in support, acknowledged the need for unity and cooperation among parties in the wake of the election results. His comments highlighted the importance of a collaborative approach to navigate the complexities of Greenland's political aspirations and external pressures. Summary of key events. March 11, 2025, Greenland holds parliamentary elections amid speculation regarding U.S. interest in the island. Post-election reaction. Demokraatit its unexpected victory is celebrated, with Nielsen expressing a commitment to inclusive governance. Trump's influence. In the lead-up to the elections, Trump's statements regarding Greenland's strategic significance have raised concerns and heightened local debates about independence. Conclusion. The recent elections in Greenland represent a significant political realignment towards pro-business and independence-oriented policies. driven by a public rejection of previous anti-American sentiments and external pressures from U.S. interests. The outcome not only reflects changing voter priorities but also sets the stage for potential shifts in Greenland's governance and its relationship with Denmark and the United States. As the Demokraatit Party prepares to navigate this new political terrain, the future of Greenland's autonomy and international partnerships remains uncertain yet full of potential. The recent elections in Greenland have brought about a remarkable political shift characterized by the unexpected rise of the center-right Demokraatit Party, which surged from a mere 9% of the vote to an impressive 30%. This significant victory dislodged the previously dominant anti-American left parties, particularly the Inuit Ataqatigiit and Siumut, which have held power for years. Counterintuitive information. 1. Voter priorities. It is counterintuitive that despite the Demokraatit Party's pro-business stance, which might suggest a focus on economic issues, their victory is attributed to broader social policy concerns. Voters expressed a strong interest in healthcare, education, and cultural heritage, indicating a departure from merely economic motivations. This highlights a nuanced public sentiment where social welfare and national identity are prioritized alongside economic reform. 2. Independence sentiment. While 4 out of 5 major parties advocate for independence from Denmark, the Demokraatit Party's moderate approach toward this goal may seem less appealing in a climate of rising nationalism. However, their strategy of gradual independence resonated with voters who are cautious about abrupt changes, suggesting that a pragmatic approach can be more attractive than a radical one, which contradicts the expectation that a strong nationalistic sentiment would lead to immediate independence demands. 3. U.S. relations. The Demokraatit Party's electoral success comes at a time when U.S. President Donald Trump has expressed a strong desire for American control over Greenland, showcasing a stark dichotomy. Despite Trump's statements that Greenland is crucial for U.S. national security, the party's platform is fundamentally about rejecting the notion of the island being for sale. This contradiction reveals a complex relationship where local voters prioritize self-determination over foreign interest even in the face of significant external pressure. For coalition politics, the expectation that the Demokraatit Party would easily form a coalition government is challenged by the realities of Greenland's political landscape. The party must navigate differing positions on independence among potential allies, especially with the more aggressive Nalaraq Party advocating for swift independence. This political complexity suggests that winning an election does not guarantee straightforward governance, revealing the intricate layers of party dynamics and public expectations. 5. Public sentiment towards foreign influence. The elections were held against a backdrop of heightened concern about foreign influence, particularly from the U.S. The fact that most Greenlanders support independence yet show little interest in becoming part of the U.S. reflects a nuanced understanding of sovereignty. This contradicts the simplistic narrative that greater foreign interest would lead to a desire for integration. Instead, it indicates a strong commitment to maintaining Greenlandic identity and autonomy. Implications of the election results. The electoral upset signifies not just a shift in leadership but also a potential redefinition of Greenland's political identity. The Demokraatit Party's victory represents a rejection of previous anti-American rhetoric, opening the door to discussions about pragmatic cooperation with the U.S. while still prioritizing Greenland's autonomy. Future considerations. As Jens-Frederik Nielsen, the leader of the Demokraatit Party, prepares to form a coalition government, the path ahead will require careful negotiation with other parties, particularly regarding the approach to independence and relations with Denmark and the U.S. The outcome of these negotiations will be crucial in determining how Greenland balances its aspirations for self-governance with the geopolitical interests that surround it. In summary, the recent elections in Greenland underscore a significant political and ideological shift. The rise of the Demokraatit Party not only challenges expectations but also highlights the complexities of national identity, independence aspirations, and the influence of external powers in shaping local politics. The recent electoral upset in Greenland, where the center-right Demokraatit Party surged from 9% to 30% of the vote, is a significant event with wide-ranging implications that many may overlook. While the headline news focuses on the dramatic electoral shift and the potential for increased U.S. influence, several underlying themes and details deserve closer examination due to their significance for the future of Greenland, its relationship with Denmark, and its geopolitical status. 1. Shift from anti-American sentiment to pragmatic cooperation. The Demokraatit Party's victory marks a dramatic pivot from the previous anti-American leftist leadership to a pro-business pragmatic approach. The former governing parties Inuit Ataqatigiit and Siumut were characterized by their rejection of American interests encapsulated in their slogan "Greenland is not for sale." The new leadership, however, is open to discussing business cooperation, indicating a willingness to engage with U.S. economic interests. Significance: this change is not merely a shift in rhetoric but may also signal a broader acceptance among Greenlandic voters of the need for international partnerships to drive economic growth. The importance of Greenland's natural resources, particularly rare earth minerals, means that U.S. investment could significantly impact the local economy. This pragmatic approach may foster development while navigating the complexities of national identity and independence aspirations. 2. Independence debate and the role of U.S. interests. The independence debate is not new in Greenland, but the electoral outcome has intensified discussions around the timing and nature of independence from Denmark. 4 of the 5 major parties support independence, but they differ in their approaches. The Demokraatit Party advocates for a more gradual path, while the Nuanced Party pushes for immediate independence. Significance: the electoral outcome may reflect a strategic calculation among voters about the timing of independence in relation to external pressures, particularly from the U.S. The Demokraatit's willingness to engage with U.S. interests could be seen as a tactic to strengthen Greenland's bargaining position with Denmark. This complexity suggests that Greenlanders may be weighing their desire for independence against the potential benefits of foreign investment and military protection, framing their national identity within a global context. 3. Geopolitical implications of U.S. interest. Trump's comments regarding Greenland's strategic importance to U.S. national security have placed the island at the center of geopolitical discourse. His statement about acquiring Greenland one way or the other has fueled local anxieties and influenced voter sentiment. Significance: the international spotlight on Greenland raises critical questions about sovereignty and self-determination. If the Demokraatit Party successfully navigates a coalition that includes pro-independence factions, it may lead to a more assertive stance in negotiations with both Denmark and the U.S. The potential for U.S. military and economic interests to shape Greenland's political landscape cannot be understated, especially in a world where geopolitical tensions are rising. 4. Voter priorities beyond independence. While the desire for independence is a significant theme in Greenlandic politics, the recent election results indicate that voters also prioritize social issues such as healthcare and education. The Demokraatit Party's platform resonated with voters who seek improvements in these areas, suggesting a multifaceted approach to governance. Significance: this focus on social policies highlights the complexity of Greenlandic identity and governance. Voters are not solely driven by nationalistic impulses, they are also concerned about the quality of life and future opportunities. As the Demokraatit Party seeks to form a coalition, balancing economic development with social welfare will be crucial for maintaining public support and effectively addressing the challenges of governance. 5. Formation of a coalition government. Jens-Frederik Nielsen, the leader of the Demokraatit Party, faces the challenge of forming a coalition government. This process will be pivotal in determining the future political course of Greenland, especially regarding the independence issue and relations with Denmark and the U.S. Significance: the coalition-building process could reveal underlying divisions among parties and the electorate regarding the pace and nature of independence. It will also test the Demokraatit Party's ability to negotiate and collaborate with other factions, particularly those advocating for a more aggressive independence timeline. The outcome of these negotiations will shape not only Greenland's domestic policies but also its international relations, especially with powerful neighbors. 6. Environmental and economic context. Greenland possesses vast natural resources, including rare earth minerals, which are crucial for modern technology and renewable energy. As global demand for these resources grows, the strategic importance of Greenland will only increase. Significance. The potential for economic development driven by resource extraction raises critical questions about environmental sustainability and the rights of indigenous peoples. The new government will need to navigate these issues carefully, balancing economic interests with environmental protections and community rights. Failure to do so could lead to local unrest and opposition, undermining the government's stability. 7. Cultural identity and national narrative. The electoral shift also reflects a broader cultural narrative in Greenland. The Demokraatit Party's emphasis on being Greenlanders instead of aligning with Danish or American identity speaks to a growing sense of national consciousness and pride. Significance. This cultural aspect is vital for understanding the political dynamics in Greenland. A strong national identity can foster unity among the population and support for independence, but it may also create tensions with external narratives. The challenge for the new government will be to promote a cohesive national identity while engaging with international partners, particularly as global economic and political interests converge on the island. Conclusion. The recent electoral upset in Greenland represents a significant turning point in its political landscape, with implications that extend beyond local governance. The shift towards a pro-business pragmatic approach combined with the ongoing independence debate places Greenland at the intersection of national identity and global geopolitics. As the Demokraatit Party navigates coalition building and engages with U.S. interests, the outcomes will not only shape Greenland's future but also influence its role on the global stage. The interplay of social priorities, environmental concerns, and cultural identity will be crucial in determining how Greenland charts its path forward in an increasingly complex world. Here are the 4 most valuable points for in-depth analysis and discussion regarding the recent political upset in Greenland, where the center-right Demokraatit Party won the election. 1. Dramatic electoral shift and public sentiment. The Demokraatit Party's jump from 9% to 30% of the vote represents a significant shift in Greenland's political landscape, indicating a notable change in public sentiment towards governance and policies. This shift is not just a rejection of the anti-American left but reflects deeper societal concerns regarding healthcare, education, and social welfare. Voters have expressed a desire for pragmatic cooperation and pro-business policies, suggesting a move away from previous ideologies that were predominantly anti-American. This electoral outcome prompts an analysis of what specific issues resonated with the electorate and how these priorities might shape future policies. 2. Independence versus strategic alliances. The election results have amplified discussions surrounding Greenland's independence from Denmark, with 4 of the 5 major parties advocating for varying degrees of independence. The Demokraatit Party's moderate approach contrasts with the more aggressive stance of the Nalarak Party, which emphasizes rapid independence. This divergence raises critical questions about the timeline and conditions under which Greenland could pursue independence, especially in light of external pressures like U.S. interest in the island's strategic and resource-rich geography. A comprehensive analysis could explore the implications of independence on Greenland's economic and political future, particularly concerning relations with Denmark and the United States. 3. Geopolitical implications of U.S. interest. U.S. President Donald Trump's statements regarding Greenland's strategic importance and potential U.S. control over the territory have introduced a complex layer to Greenland's political dynamics. The Demokraatit Party's victory serves as a rejection of the notion that Greenland is for sale, emphasizing a national desire for self-determination. This situation presents an opportunity to analyze the geopolitical ramifications of U.S. interest in Greenland. Discussions could focus on how this interest affects local politics, national identity, and international relations, particularly in the context of U.S.-China competition in the Arctic region. 4. Coalition government formation and future governance. The task of coalition formation will be pivotal for Jens-Frederik Nielsen and the Demokraatit Party as they navigate alliances with other parties to establish a stable government. The dynamics of coalition building will likely influence Greenland's approach to independence and foreign relations, particularly with the US and Denmark. An examination of potential coalition partners and their respective policies on independence, social issues, and economic development will be essential in predicting the future political landscape. This point underscores the importance of negotiation and compromise in a multi-party system and the potential for differing agendas to shape governance outcomes. In conclusion, the recent electoral upset in Greenland signifies a crucial realignment of political sentiments with implications for independence, international relations, and governance. Analyzing these 4 points will provide a comprehensive understanding of the challenges and opportunities facing Greenland in the wake of this significant political change. 1. The 2016 Brexit referendum in the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom's decision to leave the European Union marked a significant political upset, closely mirroring Greenland's recent shift. The referendum held on June 23, 2016 resulted in 51.9% of voters choosing to leave the EU, defying polls that suggested a more favorable outcome for the Remain campaign. The Brexit vote represented a rejection of established political norms and a shift towards nationalist sentiments, similar to how Greenland's Demokraatit Party has emerged as a pro-business alternative to the leftist parties. The Brexit debate also included discussions around independence and self-determination akin to Greenland's ongoing dialogue about separating from Denmark. 2. The 2018 midterm elections in the United States. The 2018 midterms were characterized by significant political upheaval, with Democrats gaining control of the House of Representatives after a wave of voter mobilization against the Trump administration. This election shifted the balance of power and signaled a rejection of the status quo, paralleling the Demokraatit Party's unexpected victory in Greenland. Like the U.S. midterms, which focused on social issues, healthcare, and immigration, the Greenland elections highlighted voters' concerns about local governance, healthcare, and education, demonstrating a desire for change in response to external pressures. 3. The 2019 general election in Canada. In Canada, the 2019 federal election saw the Conservative Party gain significant ground, challenging the incumbent Liberal government led by Justin Trudeau. While the Liberal Party retained power, the election reflected a shift in political sentiment, particularly regarding regional interests and economic policies. The rise of the Conservative Party can be compared to the electoral gains of the Demokraatit Party in Greenland, as both elections showcased a growing discontent with the existing political landscape and a push for policies focused on economic reform and business interests. Additionally, both elections were influenced by broader geopolitical dynamics, including trade and international relations, much like Greenland's relationship with the U.S. amid Trump's interest in the territory. The recent electoral upset in Greenland marks a pivotal moment in the territory's political landscape, with the center-right Demokraatit Party's unexpected victory signaling a shift toward pro-business policies and a pragmatic approach to international relations, particularly with the United States. The implications of this change are profound, not only for Greenland's internal governance but also for its role in global geopolitics, especially concerning the ongoing discussions around independence from Denmark. Political landscape and future governance. With Demokraatit now at the helm, Greenland is likely to see a reorientation of its political priorities. Under the leadership of Jens-Frederik Nielsen, the party's platform emphasizes economic growth, investment, and cooperation with international partners. This marks a departure from the previous administration's anti-American sentiments, which had characterized the Inuit Ataqatigiit and Siumut parties. The new government's focus on business-friendly reforms could attract foreign investments, particularly from the US, which has shown renewed interest in Greenland's resources and strategic location. Nielsen's challenge will be to form a coalition that can effectively govern while balancing the differing views on independence among the major parties. The pro-independence sentiment is strong, with 4 of the 5 major parties advocating for varying degrees of autonomy from Denmark. The future of this independence debate will be pivotal, as it could shape Greenland's economic policies and international relations. U.S. influence and investment. The recent statements from former President Donald Trump emphasizing Greenland's strategic importance to U.S. national security have added complexity to the situation. Trump's willingness to invest billions into Greenland presents an opportunity for the new government to leverage this interest to bolster its economy. However, the Demokraatit Party has made it clear that while they welcome investment, they do not view Greenland as a commodity to be sold. This nuanced position will be crucial in negotiating any agreements with the U.S. The potential for U.S. investment can catalyze significant changes in Greenland's infrastructure, healthcare, and education systems, areas that resonated with voters during the elections. If managed well, this influx of capital could enhance Greenland's self-sufficiency and strategically position it as a key player in Arctic geopolitics. Independence debate and future prospects. The question of independence remains central to Greenland's future. While the Demokraatit Party advocates for a gradual approach, other parties such as the Nalarak push for a more immediate path to independence. The timeline for independence will likely depend on the coalition government formed and the public's response to ongoing negotiations with Denmark and the U.S. As Greenland continues to navigate its path towards self-determination, the dynamics of its relationship with Denmark will also evolve. Denmark's support and cooperation will be vital in the transition process, especially as Greenland seeks to establish a more independent economic framework. The outcome of this relationship will be crucial not only for Greenland's governance but also for the stability of the region as a whole. International reactions and geopolitical implications. The international community, particularly countries with interests in the Arctic, will be closely monitoring Greenland's political developments. The U.S. has historically maintained a military presence in Greenland, and any shift toward independence could prompt a re-evaluation of military strategies in the region. Countries like Russia and China may also increase their focus on Greenland, seeking to capitalize on any potential instability or shifts in governance. As Greenland navigates these complex international waters, the new government must balance its internal aspirations for independence with external pressures and opportunities. The rise of pro-business policies could position Greenland as a more attractive partner for global investments, while also asserting its sovereignty in the face of external interests. Conclusion. The recent elections in Greenland signify a momentous shift in the territory's political landscape, with the Demokraatit Party poised to reshape Greenland's future. As the government embarks on a path of pro-business reforms and navigates the independence debate, the interplay between internal governance and external geopolitical pressures will be critical. The outcome of these dynamics will not only influence Greenland's trajectory but could also have lasting implications for Arctic geopolitics and international relations in the coming years.